Hello, 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 and welcome back. Both those songs really get me in a happy mood. So, like, as nervous as I have been, they just made me in a very, very good mood. Until I have to talk to Tusk and Tatty, and then we're fucked.
You're welcome.
See, everybody's dancing. Everybody's dancing. Hello, people. Welcome back. Welcome back. I am joined by a whole host of amazing fuckers who are crazy enough to want to be on a stream with me. And the reason we are here is to kind of calm me down. Being with all of you weirdos helps me calm down for what's ahead tonight. So this is the pre-show or my pre-show, I should say, for Truth Wanted. So if you're not already subscribed to Truth Wanted, please go subscribe and be in the chat tonight because yay, I'm on tonight. First of all, it's been a while. It's been a while since I had you on. JL, what's the story, man?
It has been a minute, and thank you so much for having me on. The invitation came yesterday, and I was kind of like, oh wow, that'd be so cool. That'd be awesome. But yeah, just doing the thing, create content for my channel and working on my podcast, and doing all kinds of stuff, just all over the place. But yeah, just been busy, which is good. This is a good thing, especially in these uncertain times. But I'm always happy to help out.
I miss talking to you, and you've been doing a lot more live streams lately, which is great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Finally, the schedule kind of worked out. I myself got over the nerves, so I could live stream and start, like going out there and bringing people on because I will be having I'm going to get into having special guests on the live stream more regularly. So I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. Actually, I'll be having a special guest on. I don't want to spoil it, but I'll be having a special guest on my live stream.
Who? No, I'm joking. Tune in tomorrow, and you will see.
Yes, it'll be a blast over on my channel, JL Warren. Yes, but yeah, it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm glad that we're able to reconnect. Because it has been a minute. I know you've been dealing with stuff on your end, and so glad that we're able to kind of circle back to each other. That's what's awesome about this YouTube community and everybody that's involved in it. It seems so large, but in actuality, it's actually a pretty small family. Yeah,
it is tiny. Tatty, what's the story?
It wasn't me. I didn't do anything. No, wasn't it? Can't prove it. No pictures.
Right. So everybody who doesn't already know, next Saturday.
Oh yeah, bugger you.
Tatty is going to have a live stream. Nope. So I'm getting it out now, so people that only watch for like 5 minutes will know. Tatty's doing a live stream next Saturday. And it's 100 people, 1 hour per 100 people. So the more we get him subscribers, the better, the longer he goes, which is always going to be fun. So if you're not subscribed to Tatty, do it just to fucking annoy him. So what's your live stream about?
My live stream's all about the new hashtag I've created, hashtag unsub from Tatty.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun. A lot of us are going to jump on over there and just have the crack.
Oh Christ, man, it's going to be absolute fucking carnage and bedlam and the usual nonsense. Because let's face it, if it's on my channel, then it's going to be
there's no rules.
Murder.
There's no rules.
Oh, Craig, no, don't be putting the bloody link in the watching you.
Reason says, I wonder whose idea that was. It was Tatty's.
It was not my idea. Yeah, thank you, Tusk.
Tatty was coming up with ideas of what you would do if you went live, and I just encouraged him to go live. He was like, okay, so you're going live then. Because he was coming up with ideas.
Yeah, for encourage, read bullied.
Tricked, deceived, and orange scunnered. Yeah.
Browbeated. Is browbeated a word?
Speaking of live streams. Speaking of live streams. Tusk, how are you getting on?
Well, I've got a live stream coming up in, I think it's 23 months now.
23 months.
YouTube won't let me schedule anything longer than 2 years in the future.
Thank you, Jefferson. And thank you, Critical Cripple, because Critical Cripple actually tweeted it out. So thank you very much. And he tweeted out tonight's show. But before I get to the host of that show, Secular Rarity, it's good of you to join us again.
Hey, I am very excited to be back. I'm sorry I wasn't here in time. That's just because the beer takes a little long to fill the glass. So we got that settled, and man, I am so fucking excited to see you on Truth Wanted, and with Puck hosting, I it is going to be awesome. You guys are going to have great chemistry. Like I said, seriously, take a deep breath. Just listen to what the callers say, and when they say fucking bullshit, just call them out on it. Easy peasy, right? When the guy comes on and he goes, "Well, the Earth is flat," just nope, no, what the fuck is not.
Yeah, that won't fly with me. That will not fly with me.
I have the distinct impression that Crafty's going to fall into that pretty easily. It's going to be like when you first get out on stage. Like before you walk on stage, you're like, "Oh my god, I have to pee." Oh
yeah,
my god.
that's basically me right now. Like
the minute you walk out there, it's going to be like, "What are you idiots doing? Stop! Just stop." You're going to be fine. You're going to be amazing.
We do have a contingency for that. If you do have to pee, you just leave it on the side chat. You go, and I'll just hold the fort for like 5 minutes until you finish your business. Come back. Nobody is the wiser. Okay, we do this all the time.
You're not going to be on camera, Crafty, right?
no,
Just get a bucket. You'll be fine.
Get a bucket. Do it right.
Why do you think I drink these? I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's every live streamer's rule. Just always have
Just pee into a Jameson's bottle. It'll taste exactly the same.
Allegedly, his name is Dave.
Fun. Oh yeah, always fun. Puck, you're the host of tonight's show. First question. Before you even get to say anything, am I allowed to curse?
Yes, but not in the first 2 minutes.
Okay, Grant. See, we're setting ground rules here,
Right.
guys.
Long intro. Make it a long intro, Puck. At least 3 minutes worth.
We do like the end title screen is about 30 seconds already. I have a little bit of an intro, so if you can just like hold out for about 30 seconds of your own personal talk time, I think it'll be okay.
Good.
30 seconds.
A whole
I mean,
2 minutes.
it took me a whole 30 seconds to curse on this stream. I'll be good. I'll be grand.
Come on, we all know you've been muting your mic in between and just stringing a bunch of cuss words together. We know that.
Happens. This actually legit happens all the fucking time.
Just do so. Like I don't, but that's my own thing. But do whatever after the first 2 minutes. Do whatever you want. We're good. We wouldn't have invited you on. I wouldn't have sought you out as a guest if I didn't think you'd do a spectacular job on your own. So.
You've seen my live streams. You know what I'm like.
Yes, I've seen your live streams. I've seen your pre-recorded content. I've seen how much preparation and work goes into your material. This is not a decision that gets made lightly.
I haven't. I can't see through all this salt.
Jail next.
No,
Well,
but in all seriousness, if we didn't believe in you already, you wouldn't have made it this far. I am honored to be the bridge that puts our communities together, because this is one thing that I decided when I got a little bit of sway in Truth Wanted and with the ACA as a whole in picking guests, that there are some that I shoot for the moon interviews, like wouldn't it be fantastic to have Lindsay Ellis on nonprofits? Yes. But the other side of that is I want to bring communities together. Like I'm looking in chat and I think I only see maybe 2 people on there who are normally in Truth Wanted chat. So it's great that you guys get to see what Truth Wanted is. Truth Wanted gets to see a new community that it's never gotten a chance to interact with, and we're gonna all be better people for it.
And we all get to watch a stream with Crafty on it that doesn't have a fucking goat shoved down our throat every 30 seconds.
I'm sure somehow goats are gonna show up.
The goats are going to make an appearance. The goat will make an appearance.
Halfway through.
Crafty, I have to let you know, because I recently moved way more rural. I moved up north out of Texas.
Yes.
I was in Texas and I moved up here to Oklahoma. Not 15 minutes from my place is a goat farm.
Yes.
And
I'm moving in with JL.
I was driving by, because there's a lot of long stretches of nothing. It's like Jeepers Creepersville out here in some places. And I was driving by and I was like, "What is that?" And it's just like this herd of magnificent little hopping.
You need to take pictures and send them to me, because I love
need to do that. And I immediately thought of you, and it was like, Crafty's gonna love anything I send of those guys from her, because there's so many of them. But it'll be a lot of fun.
Nerdy
Right.
Rodent, I agree with you. I also hope someone calls in about ghosts. And this is again another like one of the problems that we're having. in
JL
the,
will.
if you'd like to, sure. No, like one of the problems that we're having in the American shows is we're down in call volume all around. We're just not getting the same kind of calls and the kind of number of calls that we used to. And this is not just us. A lot of other shows are having issues with this also. So if you know anybody and if they're willing to come on, have them give us a call. We need fresh blood on our show.
Anyone in this fucking
Can I-
chat calls in
can-
tonight, I'm going to murder you.
Puck,
He's
can
gonna
you
say
just
that now.
can you just say that again, please?
Oh, no.
I missed that there. That
Oh,
was
here we go.
So, moving on.
yeah. Fuck on you.
I love JL that you think of Oklahoma so much further north from Texas. I'm in Ohio.
Okay. So technically, I'm like 10 minutes from the Kansas border.
Oh,
So,
okay.
And
So that
you
is-
know, and,
Still
yeah.
doesn't count.
that's as far away from Texas as you can get
Oh.
while still being in Oklahoma. basically. No, and you know what? This is another thing that I hope I get to mention. That I find it sad that there are so many people in other countries who are familiar enough with American geography to know what's where, right? Like they could probably point out Texas in a map. I don't think I could point out Belfast on a map.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think I could. I don't know where Brighton is. I don't know where Manchester is.
If you want to know where Belfast is on the map, just look for the part that's on fire.
I
Holy
wasn't
smoke.
gonna make that joke.
you do realize. Well, Tusk is the only one allowed to make that joke, but you do realize Math Pig is in the chat. Hello, Math
Yeah,
Pig.
I know.
That's pretty much why he made that joke.
Yeah, and yesterday I was talking about Americocentrism on secular sexuality, and we get to
Yes, you
continue
were.
that conversation tonight. And not only that, but I'm putting where my money where my puck is, and saying this is what I'm actually doing about it. I'm getting to know people in other communities, bringing them into our communities, and hopefully we'll all have some new friends after this.
Yeah. Well, one of Tusk's favorite people was on secular sexuality last night.
Ooh, Phoebe,
Phoebe.
yeah, great guest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honored
Phoebe,
to have her on there.
Yeah, Phoebe loves me.
Yeah.
I got quite drunk one night, and I just decided that Phoebe was the target of my bile and my ire, and I just spent a good maybe 2 hours just giving her shit for no good reason in the side chat. And I'm not going to apologise for it or anything because I thought it was funny, and I still think it was funny. But
Sable
yeah,
Eagle, I appreciate. I
deserve
think you're
it.
trying to be helpful, but that means absolutely nothing to me.
Wait, what happened?
Bride's like south of Gatwick Airport, north of the English Channel, east of Southampton, and west of Dover.
I
Does that
Yeah,
make
come on, how did
any-
you not get it by that?
yeah, I believe you're being helpful, but it's
Well,
just
well,
means
one
nothing.
of the fun things tonight is going to be Puck is going to try and pronounce Irish names.
Good luck with that.
Ooh.
Yes.
And guess who
This is not to be missed.
guess who gets to choose the Irish names?
Yeah, this is going to be painful.
Puck, don't worry.
Oh,
If you really want, I'll send you a list of words that you can just have Crafty read. They won't seem like they're strange to you. There'll be a lot of words on there. You're like, this seems like a regularly used word in the English language, but trust me, just send her the
not.
list, let her read it. It'll be great.
Just a few wee pointers for Puck. IO is E unless it's
I always
right. EH is a hard K sound unless it's silent.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll
Tusk,
forget that by
Tusk, are you
showtime.
cheating? Are you cheating?
IO is E unless
Stop
it's not.
cheating. Stop
I
cheating.
love how Sable Eagle is still
That's
trying to
not-
nail down like where the specific place is for Puck by naming
I
a bunch
do.
of other places that he has no idea where those are either.
And
Yeah,
Manchester is on the west side in that bit between Wales and the Lake District.
Puck, you know where London is, right? Well, Manchester's nowhere near it.
Yeah, but what you have to remember is it's a sense of scale. You could lose the UK and America and never find it again. You could probably lose it in parts of Texas,
Yeah.
and you could spend a
You could.
lifetime looking for it and never see it ever again.
What is that? Oh, by the way, sorry to do this, but I've only just remembered. Tatty sent a super chat
What?
just after I put up the event for this asshole. Just saying, oops for £2. Why? Why? Why do it?
Because I know it annoys you.
It really does. But anyway, lads, because some of you are used to dealing with the most insane calls, the
Yes.
most insane people. I'm looking at JL here because you've had some experiences with Otangelo and a few others.
Oh,
Look, Tangela has been banned from all ACA shows. just
I
so you
know that makes me so sad. He
Oh,
was he
no.
was in Jefferson's last night,
Mhm.
which was absolutely hilarious.
He has
he
too
was
many alts. That's
he
the
had an
problem.
alt account. Yeah, he had an alt account, and everybody knew it was him. And then he came in with his normal account saying, "Hey everyone," it's like, yeah, you've been here for like an hour. Don't
Well,
even
and
pretend.
the good news is, even if we don't get Otangelo specifically, there are plenty of people who present design arguments, and also this is why I like Truth Wanted more than the Sunday shows, is because we only rarely get apologetics calls. Most of the time, it's about epistemology or supernatural. So occasionally we'll get a Christian apologist, but usually it's that's actually very rare for us to have. So
This is a
Oh,
dangerous thing. He's trying to summon Otangelo. Otangelo doesn't know
yes.
about my channel. I think I'm
Otangalo's
safe.
probably here
I think
already.
I'm safe. No, he's not. Shush.
Yeah, he is.
No, he doesn't know about my channel. He doesn't know where to find me. It's
I'm
funny.
going to go ahead and say Colleen is Otangelo.
No. Wait. What?
Could be anybody. That's the problem with Otangelo. He's got so many sock accounts. It could literally be anybody.
Well, it's definitely not this guy. Nimrod for 55 secs says, super joke passenger. Lovely red sky tonight. Dublin taxi driver. Yeah, sure it is. Tala's on fire. Wonder if the Yanks can say Tala correctly.
no,
Well, we can
so I'm
now.
very grateful that
Okay.
Crafty said it for me, so I don't have to try.
We can
Thank
now.
I just like to
Go
say
on.
to the people in Northern Ireland, buses are for their transport. Okay, if you're cold, burn wood. Don't set the buses on fire. It really doesn't help.
Oh boy.
This is the person you were thinking. Little Tatty still looking for subs for his channel. So funny, he thinks he's a YouTuber. Well, that's the thing. He doesn't. And that's what annoys him so much when he volunteers to do live streams.
So just for my sake, well, after this super chat, but
Yeah.
could you read that person's name?
No,
You just
No.
save it for
you don't
me
want
later.
you don't want
Because
any
I-
kind of help.
Yes,
Closed.
I want to see if I can guess that.
Oh
name.
man,
Okay.
There-
Give me one sec. Right.
There's
So-
one name on the list, Puck, that I've said to Crafty, if you get it without cheating or without getting help, I will eat my own shoes.
Oh
Yes.
boy.
Yes.
what kind of shoes?
It doesn't,
He has some nice boots.
I've got some
Okay.
very nice boots, yeah.
All right.
David Oliver for 5 quid says, met a lovely goat called Houdini at Sacrowell Farm the other day. Beautiful. I want pictures. I like goats. Goats are awesome. And yes, I'm goat biased. So for this person, oh yeah, definitely. I always white knife for Tatty because he definitely needs it. Puck, what's the name?
I don't even want to. That's
Come on.
yeah.
You wanted to guess.
I'm going to guess that's Colin.
No.
Okay, yeah. There's too many vowels there. I can't make any sense of that.
Yeah, that was still better than what I was putting together in my head, Puck. So
Okay,
That's-
all right.
yeah,
That's
Go on,
that's
go
the
on.
best I've got was Colin, and I.
Rarity. Try it.
see, this is the problem because I know you don't use letters right over there. So I'm looking at the letters and what comes.
Sorry.
No worse than the Welsh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mr.
sure.
Arkansas.
I'm thinking Coilin. Closer?
Nearly.
You're getting close.
JL.
What you have to remember is
No,
don't
no,
try and
wait.
read Gaelic or Gaelic like Latin. It doesn't work.
See, that just
My gut tells me Quillane,
I'm
but I'm
thinking
probably wrong.
I'm
so.
thinking there's a somewhere in it, like Coilin or
There might be some
am
back
I-
of the throat that's
right,
involved. I'm
right?
not sure.
little phlegm or something. Come on.
You know,
How
do you know
close
what
are
actually,
we?
what actually makes it worse is I already said it about 5 minutes ago.
I know, yeah.
Wow.
And what makes it worse is I know who this person is.
Oh, I apologize. I apologize on behalf
Yes.
of all
No.
American egocentric people who think that we have a monopoly on proper spelling. I don't even. I already know I'm going to botch it tonight.
Yes, and not at all making fun of that individual's name, making fun of the inability of us three Americans to pronounce it.
Nimrod,
This is
that
what
was
I
the
do.
name that started this all. And on the honor system, I have not looked up how to pronounce it.
Go on.
I'm not going to try now. Let's save it for the show. This is a cliffhanger. This is the foreshadowing that will get people to watch in 4 hours, 3 hours.
I actually have a friend with that name, and she got made fun of terribly at school because there's a brand of crisps which sounds quite like her name, and that's
yeah.
what she got called her entire life.
It happens. It happens.
That's terrible.
Oh, I needed this. I definitely needed this randomness. Randomness is always fun.
Good.
See-
You have nothing to worry about. You have a fantastic crew that's going to be there, making sure the only thing you have
I
to do
know.
is worry about what you say. We got call screeners. Like if there's ever any subject you don't want to deal with, you don't deal with it. Right? Like some people say, okay, I don't want to deal with abortion calls today, or I don't want to deal
Oh, I
with
do.
presupposition. Then that's fine.
I
You know,
do.
we can take that out before it even gets.
I want it all.
So
Okay.
what's
All right.
what's your
that's the problem.
ultimate?
Huh?
Oh no, go ahead.
The problem is controlling what I say. I rarely have a filter. The only time I actually have much of a filter is when I'm pre-recording something. And look at my favorite flat earther,
Oh,
Gary
fuck off.
Wybenga.
If we wanted
How
people
are
who can
you?
control their mouths and not swear, then we wouldn't have looked to the British Isles for guests.
Well, you didn't look at the British Isles for guests. You looked at Ireland
Yeah, I
for
could say the
guests.
Republic of Ireland is
Yeah.
not part of the British Isles.
You're in that chunk. Okay,
Gary,
fine.
hang on.
What do you call that chunk of the world that includes the
Europe.
like if you wanted to
Europe.
Fucking
you
Europe.
wanted to
It's
say
Europe.
I think
You're all
the UK might
European
have something to
continent.
argue
I
with.
think it would
about-
be, you wouldn't have had to go across
Okay,
the pond.
okay,
You went
okay.
across
Hold
the
on.
I don't know
pond
if
to
I
find
don't know if
people.
you're aware of the history there, Puck, but there was a war fought for that, and the Republic of Ireland was not part of the British Isles.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
So just to
My
say,
apologies. I am so gonna get it.
the UK may not be part of the EU anymore, but they're still part of the European continent. So saying Europeans isn't actually far off from being
I don't know. I thought they took back their independence. Did that
No.
not happen?
no,
They
not from the
didn't.
European continent.
Are you sure?
They're still part of the continent. They're not part of the union, but they're still part of the continent.
I know it didn't move. I know. It's not how plate
They took the-
tectonics
they
work.
took the island and just left.
Yeah, they just like just put a sail on it. It's like fuck y'all.
Yeah,
We
the
are
Irish
so
defence-
done with
Oh,
all of you.
if only we
All of you
fucking
are just
could.
Gary,
trash.
hang on, because I
Don't
know
bring-
Gary.
don't
Hang
bring
on,
Gary in.
I'm not bringing Gary on. Gary, if you're around in a few hours, tune into Truth Wanted, and if you want to come on and ask a question or have a discussion, please do.
You don't have to.
They don't use StreamYard, so
Mhm.
you'll be safe.
Yep.
It should work for you. So please do come on or give
Why
them a
would-
call. Give them a
Yeah,
call.
we have ways
Why-
that you can call on the web. So if you don't want to make an international phone call, that's fine. We have ways to accommodate that.
Why
be telling
wouldn't
them
he?
that.
Why wouldn't he be safe with StreamYard?
His phone doesn't like StreamYard apparently.
Okay. It's a technical thing. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, it was Gary Wybenga, so I thought it might have been a paranoia thing.
But Gary would come up with some amazing topics of discussion. So if Gary wants to call in, by all means, Gary, call in. We want to talk to you. Tuss doesn't like you, but
No, I tried to connect with Gary Wybenga on a human level, but it turns out he's an asshole. So I'm giving up.
Puck, just by that right there, what Crafty did, that's why you chose her. She's like, please, yes, come on, call in. You're like, just, I know what's
No, I
You
don't
see-
get to choose guests for very many shows. I've only been on Truth Wanted maybe a handful of times, I think 10 times in the past year, and only 8 times I've gotten to pick my guests. So I need to be very careful when I choose them, right? I don't pick them arbitrarily or out of nothing. This is a big decision that I make, and so I don't do this lightly. So when I say, Crafty, you would be awesome on the show, a lot of thought went into that sentiment.
I am looking forward.
Just trying to butter you up a little bit and give you
Little bit.
confidence.
Little
Oh,
bit.
she's amazing. She's on
Yes.
this side. She's on this side. So she's amazing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I learned from the best. Where the fuck are they?
They left a
Well-
long fucking time ago.
Well,
I just feel kind of bad that it's like 2:00 in the morning where you are by the
No,
time
it's
the
one.
show starts.
It'll be one.
1 o'clock. Okay, yeah. I do feel bad about that. I wish, and you know what? Secularity can vouch for this. In the chats that I've had, I've been trying to come up with a way to record at other times, especially for nonprofits, which is a show that is pre-recorded anyway. We could do that whenever we wanted to, and record it at a time that's much more friendly for people in Europe.
Yes,
for sure. Now, Puck, while you have a moment on Truth Wanted tonight, just very casually, because she'll forget by then, I promise. But just
No.
casually bring up to Crafty, just ask her, like, within arm's reach, how many pounds of potatoes do you say you have? And you will be surprised by the number. It's
You know,
more
the
than
whole
you think.
point of this is
I have
to
like
fight
5
against
kilos. I don't have a whole
stereotypes.
load.
All right, I don't want to be
I have
promoting
5
the.
kilos. What are you talking about?
Within arm's reach, though. Remember, I put that caveat on it. So she has 5 kilos in arm's reach, folks.
Yeah, because it's a bag right beside me.
In
It's always
Ireland,
right
you're
beside
never
me.
more.
Why is there a bag? Don't answer that. We're good.
In Ireland, you're never more than 3 feet from a potato.
We're supposed to be fighting stereotypes here. so
We have
fighting them,
Jefferson.
not reinforcing them. This is not helpful my cause.
Jefferson, hi.
Howdy.
How are you doing?
Doing all right after my long exposure to Otangelo yesterday.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that was a sock at first.
How
'Cause it
did you not know?
You know, I'd seen that user that name before, but I didn't make the connection initially, and then somebody was like, you know, that's Otangelo, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm stupid.
Yes, I said it was Otangelo. We were all
Oh, it was you.
saying,
Yeah.
We were all tagging you in the chat saying, dude, it's Otangelo.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
I was a little out of it last night. I almost didn't do a video, and I was surprised I went on for 3 hours. I got a booster shot, so first night I didn't really have a problem, but last night I started kind of feeling it, like right in the middle of the thing. I didn't have any energy, so yeah, I was a little off my game. Still am feeling kind of weird. I'm hoping. I've heard they can, like, you know, side effects can kind of linger for about 3 days. So
Which one did you get?
It's the Pfizer one, because the Moderna isn't available, and then I found out the Moderna booster shot is not a full dose. So the Pfizer full dose is 30 micrograms in the first 2, and then the booster is basically another full dose for them.
Oof.
The Moderna has been halved, because Moderna's each shot was 100 micrograms. I don't know what else they put in it, but their booster is 50 micrograms, and I think the Janssen shot, the Johnson & Johnson one, that's another full dose.
Yikes.
That one, as far as I know, I didn't even see any availability for that, and I didn't really care to get it. Pfizer was
shit.
the one they recommended. So.
I like Pfizer. I got the Pfizer one. I made sure that I got the Pfizer one. I did my research. And if I'd registered in my own house where I'm living at the moment, I would have gotten the AstraZeneca, and I did not want the AstraZeneca. I really didn't.
Yeah, that's the one that's a little shaky. Yeah.
That's the one that laid Tony out.
Yes.
That's the one that he's currently dealing with, and and I think it's been like almost a month, and he's still on that railroad after effects of dealing with the AZ one, and that's why we're keeping an eye on to make sure he's okay. But dang,
Did y'all get a choice?
I hope he gets better. Yeah. So if I'd done it here, I see Kitty. Sorry.
Aww.
Yeah,
Max.
every time a cat comes on stream, that's my response. I love
This is Max. He's
Kitty.
usually camera shy, and he usually leaves me alone during streams, but he was here right now, so
You need a kitty
say hi,
cat.
everybody.
Aw.
He is
wanted-
gorgeous.
Oh, there you go, buddy.
So pretty.
See,
That's
now
one.
that-
So we'll see if the second one wanders in here.
Etty, aren't you glad you came on when you did?
I am. Well, I was gonna come on like, "Hello, I'm a bogus salesman, and I'm here to tan your house." But then I was like, "Oh, right, okay, cat." So cute.
Okay, sorry. For the English speakers in the audience, what Etty said there was, "I've come to rob your house."
I thought that we just tapped into the Animal Crossing universe.
I just always need subtitles here. So anytime,
No, sorry.
anybody.
You don't get to speak sack full of fairy teeth.
Yeah,
You've
one more time.
deliberately chosen a name that
One
you
more
Say
time.
again?
What's
Say
the
again?
name? What's the name? Say it again, real quick.
Sepulchral diversity. Right.
You
I
do
was-
come up with some fantastic names.
I always feel kind of bad. Like every once in a while, Tatty will say something, and I agree with it because of the way it sounds, but I can't admit that I comprehend it. So if he calls me out, I'll be like, "He's like, why were you laughing?" Like, because it sounded like it was supposed to be funny.
I've built a career in the back of that, mate.
Only intelligible through text.
Tina just said #birdseed.
That's not funny, Tina.
Yes,
It's
it
hilarious.
is. No. See,
Huck
I'm
Jefferson,
not
I
even
am so
understood
glad that
it.
you're here with me. So
Why?
that just because we don't have accents. So
Right.
now I'm like,
Oh.
I was concerned.
I get it. There's
I
more
think-
than one very confused person on the stream.
I just want to say, hang on, whoa. The
I
only
think we all have
person,
thick accents. Yeah.
the only person that does not have an accent on YouTube is the Creaky Blinder. Let's get that very
This is
fucking
true.
straight.
Yeah.
What is the creaky
He
blinder?
even
Yeah,
has
I
a
have no idea what that is.
Creaky is amazing. You should definitely watch Creaky Blinder.
And he's Welsh, and he absolutely does not have a Welsh accent.
No,
Oh,
he doesn't
fun.
have any accent. He doesn't have any accent.
No
he even
accent
has
at
a
all.
mug saying he doesn't have an accent.
Just like me, I don't have an accent at all.
Gary,
you
please
guys.
call us tonight. I mean, I have a feeling you can be a good regular caller for us because there's a lot of subjects looks like you're bringing up that we'd love to talk to you about. So
Crafty, you know how I know Creaky doesn't have an accent? Because I sent him a super chat once, and I spelled it out completely phonetically to like Welsh. I phonetically wrote it out, and he nailed it on the first try. He knew exactly what I was saying, so that's how I know.
Oh, jeez.
Archie.
Thank you, Nimrod, for sending me pictures of your cat. I loved pictures of Nimrod's cat. Seriously, the cat is just gorgeous. It's black with little booties, little white
I
booties.
expect I'm in the minority here, and I absolutely hate cats. I
Wow.
can't stand the little fuckers.
Whereas
with you, mate.
every
I'm with
Sunday
you.
after Flipside, I go down and I volunteer in a local shelter as a
Aw.
I mean,
caregiver
Aw.
to cats.
cats
I
are
clean up after
cold-blooded
them.
murderers, but
No,
Yeah,
I
they
don't
are.
hate them.
Well, they
Gas
are,
them.
and they're trained. They're innate trained killing machines. They're
Yeah,
amazing.
cold-blooded murderers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
The
just
thing is,
They're
right?
awesome.
See, if a dog behaved the way a cat does, you'd have it put down in a minute.
Yes, but canines are not naturally
Oh,
gifted
dog
hunters.
just killed for sport. Just like
Yeah.
killed.
Imagine you're walking past your dog and suddenly, for no
dingoes.
good reason, it just bit
They
you or
eat your
swiped
baby.
at you or something. You'd go, "What the fuck are you doing?" But a
They
cat does it. They go,
literally-
"Oh, look at little Mister Grumpy." No,
Cats are whimsical serial killers. They're like Dexter, but they're not subject to a criminal legal code.
yeah, and they ought to be, right? As a lawyer, right?
What?
Down here, right? Cats should be subject to the same laws concerning dangerous animals that dogs
Their
and
whole
wolf hybrids should
physiological
be.
makeup is different, so no, they shouldn't.
Oh well, in that case, no, that's a terrible defense. No, I'm not having that.
I think it's interesting now that the campaign there's more of a push for this now, where if you're gonna be a new cat owner, they're like if it needs to be kept indoors because then people are like,
Yes.
well, why? And they're like, do you know what kind of an environmental hazard your cat is outdoors? And no one really wants to think about that. And it's like, and people are just like, well, I'm sure it'll kill the occasional vole and stuff. Like, no, they stack up biomass like nobody's business,
Right.
and they
Mhm.
do it for fun. Like you feed them a can of cat food, they use that as energy to go murder. And then they just turn that into a snack, and then they come back
exactly.
inside, nap, and then eat more of your food. And they're like, "This human keeps giving me gas to kill things."
Yeah, so the
It's
lesson
a
here
sick
is,
relationship.
yeah, the lesson here is starve your cat.
If I remember correctly, I remember reading about a place that was overrun, that was infested with rodents, and it may have been one of the Hawaiian Islands where they introduced cats in order to try and take care of the rodent population, but they inadvertently wiped out the bird population, or came close to it because of the introduction of cats.
It happened in Australia too. Cats came over on ships, and now they have a massive infestation, literally an infestation.
And honestly, let's just be real. Like, yeah, okay, the murdering of small animals is terrible, but like cats are just haughty, you know? They just have like this fucking attitude about them, like they're hot shit. and it's ridiculous. It's
They
like,
are though.
you
They
know,
are though.
but see, it's
But
that
you're-
that's enabling. You're enabling them, Crafty.
No. I'm respecting them as the creature that they are instead of the creature I want them to be.
I just
There is
like
a difference.
I
There is
like
a
Rarity.
difference
I like
between our
Rarity's
relationship.
take on this. Like, yeah, whatever. They're murderers. It's the nose and the
They are.
eyes.
The
Like,
hyper carnivorous.
I am absolutely sure. Like the only reason my cats haven't killed me yet is because it's just not in their best interest to do so.
Yes.
They're well fed.
No,
they have
yeah,
water.
yes.
If they killed me, they just have to dispose of the body. Who has time for that?
Oh no,
They haven't-
they're
they haven't
just waiting for
killed
you
you.
to
I
go
think
so
they-
they can get
Yeah.
all the soft
Yeah.
bits.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
there
haven't
it is.
killed
That
you,
makes
but
me
as
feel
soon
so
as
much
you-
better.
yeah. People go,
What
"Oh,
is
my
this conversation?
cat loves me." No, it doesn't. It's waiting for you to die so it can eat you.
Well, they
actually,
know that we have thumbs, and they know that those thumbs open cans.
Yeah.
And as long as
Yeah.
we're alive, the thumbs work.
Oh,
That's good.
A little thing
Well,
for anybody in the UK that doesn't know this: cats are classed as vermin, and they're on the general hunting license. So if you have a gun license in the UK, you are allowed to shoot cats. Just so you
No,
know.
no way. That's not
All right,
true.
guys, hate to do this, but Miss. Oh, here's 99. Here is 99. Yes, I have a cat that has the name that's a number. This is 99.
She is
Oh.
gorgeous.
Yes.
Now that's
My-
that's a pretty good. What do you say about that,
So is
Tusk?
the better half.
Oh yes, that's Mrs. Puck in the
I'm-
background over there.
I'm not going to say
Hello.
anything about.
There we go.
Puck
I
the
have
cat
I've
while
seen her in your
you're-
chats.
No.
I have seen her in your chats.
That'd just be mean to say I would like to drop kick it up the arse.
Oh, I'll come through and I'll hit you with the knitted penises again.
All right.
Well,
Well,
like
anyway,
it.
you guys enjoy the show. Mrs. Puck and I are going to have a dinner, and we'll be. I'll be in chat, Crafty, about 2 hours from now. So
Yep.
a little bit earlier than that. If you want to show up early, that's cool too. They'll send you a link. This is a complete no-brainer. It'll be a lot of fun. All right. Thank you
Thank you
guys,
for coming
everybody,
on.
for
Yep.
supporting.
It was nice to
Um,
meet you.
Yeah,
Always
and
good to see
definitely,
you, Puck.
if you manage to be able to stay awake despite all the Jameson, absolutely give us
do
a watch.
not
Yeah.
drink Jameson.
But
He
whatever
loves
it
it.
is
He
that you
loves
drink
it.
over
Don't-
there,
Don't lie. Don't lie,
Oh,
Tusk.
God, no.
you guys have a great night. And I'll see you in a couple
Thank
of
you,
hours.
Puck.
Thank you,
See
Puck.
you
That's what
soon.
pugs are.
Cheery and Rasta.
Not even cooking whiskey, for fuck's sake.
I'm,
Fucking legend.
I thought
Apparently-
you were my friend. Butthole.
Apparently-
I thought you were
apparently,
my
Johnny-
friend.
Johnny O says there's a panda on the stream. There's
If
a
you
panda
think
on the
of
stream.
all the words that start with panda, pandemonium, pandemic.
That's the only reason you don't like
Oh,
pandas.
wow.
That's not a reason to
Yeah.
not like pandas.
I
No,
don't
that-
know. I
that-
never thought about that before. It is
that-
a pretty good reason.
They're an
We have
evolutionary
Professor
dead
Phil Bell.
end, and we should stop trying to save them, along with cats.
There was
Actually,
actually
There was
We
there's actually a horror movie called Pandemonium, where it's
Yes.
an off the
There you go.
shooter who wore a panda head.
Good,
How would you
good.
like that?
Oh,
You're
Evidence.
triggering Effie right
JL,
now.
I know you like your horror movies. Have
Mhm.
you seen Lamageddon?
Yes, I have.
Lamageddon.
I have seen Lamageddon, and I actually did a double feature. I had to watch them back to back. I had to watch Lamageddon and Velocipaster.
Oh,
So-
brilliant.
Wow.
Have you watched Thanksgiving then? So I want
Say
to do
again?
a double header with Lamageddon and Thanksgiving with
Yes!
the homicidal turkey. One of my
Yeah.
favourite movies.
Cluck, cluck,
What is this
motherfucker.
stream?
And then you got to throw down. Then you got to throw down with Ginger Dead Man.
Oh yeah,
So-
absolutely. Yeah.
I think it was. I don't know how long Velocipaster's been up. It was hilarious. I was over. It was during some kind of family get together, and my younger sister is reading a description of it, and she's reading it online. She's like, "I cannot believe this movie exists." And we're like, "What is it?" And she starts reading the description of it, and my younger brother comes out of his room, walks down the hallway. "Oh, you're talking about Velocipaster? That's pretty fun."
I love that.
I found one the other day. I tried watching it, but it was really badly made. Called Noah's Shark.
Oh God!
It is kind of filmed on an iPhone, kind of garbage, you know. But I love all the like Sharknado and like Sharkula and all
Oh,
that.
yeah.
sort of thing.
You want some
But
bad
Noah's
ones? You
Shark-
check out the Zombie series, where all the animals in the zoo turn into
Oh,
zombies, and they called it
yeah.
Zombies. That
Is
was
it
pretty
any
bad.
better than Zombie Ass Toilet of the Dead?
Oh, that's a brilliant movie.
Is it
Oh,
better than
wow.
that?
Favorite movies.
Oh.
I absolutely love trash movies,
Yes.
but only
Yes,
if they
yes,
set
you
out
do.
to be trash movies.
Yes,
Tusk,
do.
have you
love
seen?
trash
Have you
movies.
seen Birdemic?
Oh, that's the worst movie. The effects in that are so bad.
What about Rubber?
Oh, not that one.
Oh, about
Oh,
the
the,
thingy.
the tire.
The tire, yeah, the
Yeah.
psychic tire named Robert who blows up
Yeah.
birds. We're gonna have that. We're actually gonna do that debate. We're gonna do rubber versus birdemic in an
Ooh.
upcoming
Wow.
bloodbath debate because the tire specifically targets birds, and then you have
Yeah.
like so it's gonna be a fun one.
Awesome.
I just
So
I just
really
need to
like,
hang on.
yeah.
I just need to
Sorry.
really jump in here really quickly to
Mm.
say hello, Professor Phil Bell. It is good to see you up and moving around and being in my chat again. I've missed
Awesome.
talking to you because I stream at really strange times for Professor Bell, so it's really nice to see you in the chat. So continue.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
There was I
Nice
really
to see you.
like, especially like really bad. I don't want to say really bad Japanese movies, but they're not really Japanese movies. They're Japanese made for the Western market movies, like Zombie Ass Toilet of the Dead and like Machine Gun Girl and all those sorts of things. But it's just and Sukaban Boy, which is absolute garbage. But they're having so much fun while they're doing it. And a few years ago, I'm going to name drop here, I was chatting to David Hest about a remake of The Fly. And he said he would only do it if it was a good script and everything after spending an hour trashing remakes. And I was chatting to him about these movies, and he said he had really wanted to go to Japan to get involved in that. But they don't really like having Westerners in their movies because they've got like a little small group of people that are really into that sort of thing and will literally put up with anything if it's fun for the movie. So they might spend like 2 days in makeup getting machine guns attached to their nipples for like a 5-second scene. And like Westerners won't put up with that kind of shit.
That's
And I love
dedication.
watching stuff like that.
Yeah,
Wow.
they have kind of like there's a one. He's one of my favorite directors. He's done a lot of stuff. He's done a lot of crap, but he's done a lot of really good stuff. His name is Mike, and he kind of came up in some of that stuff. He started doing like I think his first movies were like Yakuza flicks, which are usually kind of the market for those is like older Japanese men over there. Like they never really got much of an international market. And then there's like this whole subculture of like kind of guerrilla filmmakers in Japan, and they will just go and do just crazy stuff. And the work conditions are things that would scare a Charles Dickens villain. They are not comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, you
But
said
what am
Mike.
I-
You talking about Takashi Miike?
Takashi Miike, yeah.
Takashi Miike, yeah.
Yes. Citizen. What is it? Citizen Q. Happiness of the Kataguris.
Visitor Q.
Yeah,
Visitor Q. Yeah.
yeah. I think
Citizen X.
I wanted to buy. I wanted to buy the Happiness of the Katakuris, but I couldn't find it.
it's
And my dad, a real film kind of nerd.
if anybody watching this has, if you have the nerve, watch that movie. If you can make it through the first 15 minutes of it, which I would be surprised. I would. My guess is like 60% of most audiences will turn it off.
Yeah.
That is a stunningly weird movie. It is. I watched it with some friends, and I was watching it with my mouth hanging open, like I think this might be one of the best movies I've ever seen. And they're like, "This is repellent," and I was like, "Keep it on, just keep it on. This is great."
See, I
Well,
wanted
then you've
to
also
find
got
it, but
Audition. You got Audition.
fantastic.
And
that's
you've
a
got
good movie.
and then Ichi the Killer.
Ichi the Killer. Is
Ichi
nuts.
the Killer. Ichi the Killer is, along with Leon, my absolute favorite movie of all time. I love Ichi the Killer.
I don't think
Right.
I still don't think I've seen like the Japanese cut of it. I've seen different edits,
there's-
American edits of
Yeah,
it.
there's one cut. It's a BBFC cut, which has the most cuts of any movie in the entire history of the BBFC, which is the British Board of Film Classification, where it has something like 3 minutes taken out of it. The bit where the panda cop gets his face cut off and it slides down the wall,
Yeah.
and all that
Yeah.
sort of a thing.
What the
Those
fuck?
are in the original Japanese release, but it's really difficult to find them outside of Japan.
Did you
Okay,
guys?
hang on.
Sorry,
Sorry.
never mind.
Etty, what?
Hi.
Yeah, fuck them. Right.
What?
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I bet they taste great, along with penguins.
No, we do not talk about penguins like that. That's just disrespectful.
Okay.
However,
We
Fuck the
don't eat the
pandas.
we don't
Have
eat
you
the
seen-
pandas.
Have
No,
you
we
seen
eat
the
the
inside of a
pandas.
penguin's mouth?
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Oh yeah, we
No.
It looks
fucking
like Cthulhu.
one of my first live streams, we had Marvel Science on, and we had PhD Tony on, and so Tony comes out with, yeah, but whatever you do, don't look up, don't Google what's inside a penguin's mouth, and Blue being Blue, and all of us being all of us, we decided to look it up, and we gave Blue and Marvel Science nightmares for like a week.
It's like an
Yeah.
eldritch horror in there.
Yeah,
Panda curry.
it's like if you ever want to like have a cover for like a Lovecraft movie, you've got it right there. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. The happiness of the Katakuris, if you can stand it, right?
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Watch that, right?
It's
And
a tough movie.
yeah,
I wanted
And-
to. I found a lot of people. I guess a lot of people that follow us because we stream from my personal collection onto Discord for our podcast. And there's some ones that I have that I'm concerned about showing. Like I'd love to be able to show everybody Audition, but that one is a stomach churner. That one's really hard to get, especially when she's got the piano wire and stuff. And
yeah, the piano wire scenes
yeah,
especially
that's
difficult.
really rough.
Yeah.
I
Have you
wanna
seen a
watch
movie
it.
called a Korean movie called R Point?
R Point.
Yeah, it's a Korean ghost story about a troop
Probably
in the war, and they get lost, and there's another troop sent out to find them. Pretty typical stuff, but it's have you saw Outpost?
Yes, Outpost.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's a Nazi one where it's like in a time machine sort of thing, and they reactivate it, and the stormtroopers come back to life, and but it predates that by about a decade. But if you can imagine Ringu mixed with Outpost, that's R Point.
Oh, interesting.
Now, there was a time, it was a few years ago, I was house sitting for a friend. They went, "Oh, I've got some movies for you. I know you like your movies, so I got this for you." And it's R Point, and I put it on. And the first scene is disembodied voices coming from a broken radio. I just went, "No, off." off. I'm in a strange house in the dark, in the countryside. No, there's no fucking way I'm watching this.
I was watching a movie like I was living with my brother down south, and it was just the two of us, and he was working these long shifts, so he's gone for 14 hours. It's in the wee hours in the night. It's winter down there, so it was rain and ice. And I turn on, I don't remember what movie was recommended, but it was a Korean horror movie of some kind or a thriller. And I'm sitting there watching, and I get about 30 minutes into it, and I start realizing that I'm totally alone. It's pitch black outside. All I can hear is bits of ice hitting the windows. And I was like, I had this moment of clarity where I was like, I am thoroughly freaking myself the fuck out. And I turned that off. I'm like, I can't watch this on my own. And to this day, like I go to spend time with my younger brother to watch horror movies with him, because if I'm like with other people, it's fine. I have no issue with it. But if I'm sitting in my own place just watching a movie and it's like I can't look away from this, and I'm terrified now, and I'm on my own. No,
I miss those days. I miss those days, Jefferson, because obviously, running a horror film podcast and what I want, almost every one of my days is filled with horror films to some degree, or researching them, whatever. I'm so desensitized to the majority of what I see, but I miss those times when I could be sitting down, it's in the dark, alone watching a horror film and get that. And even though look at what we do, in our YouTube content. We know these things aren't real. We know that these are fiction. This stuff does not exist. And yet it hits you in that kind of primordial area of your brain. Yeah. And I miss that. I very rarely get that anymore, where I'm kind of like, where I get freaky. I think the last time it happened was watching Ju-on. Was watching the original Japanese Grudge. I actually got that, and that kind of freaked me out a bit. But
have you saw Gaia, South African movie?
I have not. It is on my watch list.
That is fantastic.
It really is.
Shot so beautifully. It is I say Martyrs, Antichrist, and Gaia are the only three movies I think that have got me in the last decade because I've become so desensitized.
Martyrs,
maybe
the American remake was trash, but
trash,
the original, that one's
I think
hardcore.
It was Nabor and Martyrs. I watched 2 days in a row, and I don't think I even turned the TV on for about a month after that because I just couldn't watch anything.
I don't remember Martyrs. I watched it when it first came out over here, like on video, and I remember watching it with I think I was watching it with my brother. We were going to check it out, and like within the first 10 or 15 minutes, I think I dozed off, and I've never been back to see it again.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah, it
But-
has a little bit of a slow burn opening.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like unveiling because it doesn't weigh everything so down with exposition. You got to kind of like follow along,
Yeah.
and then but once it dives into it, the whole like trying to get premonitions about the afterlife through pain and suffering.
Mhm.
Once it dives into that, into like really heavily into that one, and the climax of that film I did not see coming.
Yeah,
It's
just,
like
there's one scene in particular where she's taking the nails out of her skull with the claw hammer.
Oh.
Right, that's stop. Just
Nice.
no, that's enough. You know,
Has anybody seen that new movie Lamb?
yes,
No.
yes,
I'm
new
not-
movie
I'm meaning
face.
to.
I've
I've
got
been
it
meaning to.
downloaded to watch, but I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't sprung to rent it. I know it's available like on demand. But I keep thinking about it. But
Basically, you're asking if it's worth downloading. That's what you're really asking, isn't it, Jeff?
paying for.
I will say,
Don't pay
Paying
I-
for.
I
Paying
will
for.
say this.
Who
I will say
pays
this,
for
Jeff.
movies
I
anymore?
didn't expect them to go there.
Oh,
I'll just say that.
Ooh.
I did
Yes.
not
So
anticipate,
we should
given what it
watch
was,
it
given
now.
given the subject material, but I didn't expect him to actually like go full bore. So take that for what it is.
Yeah,
'cause
so
I mean-
basically, maybe.
because this year the I think like out of all the movies, I haven't seen as many movies this year, and I watch a lot of movies, but the only movie that kind of took me by surprise in kind of a fun way was *Malignant*. So far, that was the only
Nice.
one that I mean, because watching that, I was watching that one again with my brother. He's like, hey, it just came out, it dropped on HBO Max, so we're sitting there watching it. And we get about half. I don't know if anyone else here. I'm not going to spoil it because if you describe it thoroughly, even in a couple sentences, you can spoil the whole thing.
Mm.
But we get halfway through it, and he and I are like sharing theories. Like, do you think it's this? Do you think it's that? And then we finally like at around about the same point. We're about 45 minutes in. We're like, I think this is what it is combined with this. And he's like, yep. Do you really think he's going to go there? And then we nailed it. We absolutely predicted what it was. And then he surprised us by how fucking over the top it got at the end. It was just like,
Oh, yeah.
oh my God, this is great. Like, and a lot of people did not like it. I was surprised. A lot of people were like, this is trashy and stupid and corny. And I was like, yeah, but I was laughing through most of the whole thing. I actually had a lot of fun.
It was a super polarizing film, but I think that it was the style is what it was. The way it was shot and how they approached it is what put people off. So they expected one thing, but it fell into another kind of style of filmmaking, especially for horror films. And that's why people are like, they went in expecting this and then they got this. Like, this is not what I wanted. And that's why they didn't like it. Because the
Just to
setup,
say-
everything was great.
Just to say, second best Bob for 5 quid says your stream has been taken over by horror movie nerds. This is true, but it's not a bad thing.
No,
It
it's
is
not.
not a bad thing.
Yeah, you have to go
when-
out
when-
and
hang on.
look for these movies.
Here's the thing. When you have JL on a stream, you soak up every bit of knowledge that he has. That's not limited to just like debunking or religious bullshit, or ghosts. That is all of it. That is as much movie knowledge as he has. You just soak it up. It's fun. That's what makes it fun.
I don't know why this thing up here works this way. I like Tucker Dale versus Evil. I got a weird brain.
Holy
It just
shit.
so
Holy
it
shit.
just sticks.
Oh yeah,
AB Science is in the chat. It has been a long time.
yeah.
Wow,
It
AB
has been a
Science.
long time. It is
And-
good to fucking see you, man.
never take a horror movie seriously.
Indeed, sir.
Etty and I
You can't
play a
go
game.
wrong.
They're like the old 80s
Yeah.
slasher movies, like Camp Sleepaway and all that, and Sorority House Massacre.
Sleepaway Camp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I say, who's going to die first, and who's going to take an unnecessary shower at midnight?
Yeah.
You know,
And that's the best bet.
JL,
Definitely.
JL, this is for you.
I'll let 'em go.
Yes, thank you, Clive Wells,
Oh,
for the alternate power emoji.
Well,
Also-
anybody,
That's an inside joke.
everybody in the chat has to go and find Gaia, a South African movie.
What
Right.
is that? Was
I-
that done? Was it released this year?
Yes.
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
it is
Okay.
There's a couple of shots in it where I don't want to give anything away, but if you've seen Antichrist and
Oh.
Annihilation, it's somewhere
Wow.
between the two.
Hmm.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's heavy praise right there. If you want to
Yeah.
put it between Lars von Trier and
Yeah.
oh yeah, okay, all right.
That's
Okay.
it is. There's one scene in particular There's only three
No,
people
no
in the movie.
spoilers, no spoilers,
the
no
main-
spoilers,
just
no
one
spoilers,
scene
no
in
spoilers, no
particular.
spoilers, no spoilers.
I'll tell you this
No.
to jump on that. I'll
Spoilers.
say the reason it's on my watch list is because the next one that I'm planning on watching, and I desperately want to see it, I just haven't had the time because unfortunately where I live there is no movie theater. Like I have no Cineplex where I live, so I have to drive like 45 minutes to get to the next town get to the next city that has one. So 45 minutes away. And I've got to schedule that out because it's almost a full like half a day to go and see a movie. And the next one I want to see is Antlers. And I haven't seen it yet, which really aggravates me because they did a theatrical release only. And I have to wait for, I either wait for it to come digital or I have to schedule a time to go actually into the city to go see it at the theater. And I'm desperately wanting to see that. Oh, Guillermo del Toro, a Guillermo del Toro produced Wendigo film. Yes, sign me up.
Yeah, I can't remember the director of that, but he's done some other decently reviewed stuff. I'm trying to remember the guy behind it.
He thinks he's insulting us.
Yeah,
Scott,
You're really not.
Scott Cooper.
You're
Scott
really
Cooper's
not.
director of that.
Oh, Scott
horror
Cooper.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't. Is that like his first horror? Because he did like Out of the Furnace and stuff like that, didn't he? And
yeah, he did Out of the Furnace and he did Black Mass. Oh, but he also did Hostels. And Hostels was good.
Oh,
West Studi, what was it? Was it West Studi?
Christian Bale,
and Rosamund Pike. Yeah, that was a good one.
yeah, Black Mass, Out of the Furnace, Crazy Hair. That was the other one. That was one of his first ones, I think.
I did have one little thing to say.
Go on.
Yes.
JL, I get sad that you stream so late. I only managed to make one of my husband's shows that you were on, and that was the Friday the 13th. And I love him. I love Jason.
Yeah,
very,
JL,
very
what the shit?
much.
Shit,
Yeah,
man?
Why do you stream
What the shit?
it so late? It makes me
Fucking
very
3:00 in the
sad.
morning. 3:00 in the morning, biatch.
I keep missing all my husbands, and you're just like, well, why? That makes me sad.
Plot hole
Yeah,
too.
oh,
Plot
the
hole
weekend
too.
follows.
I've discussed this
Yeah.
with Johnny O. I've
Wait,
discussed this with Johnny O.
is it the show like the podcast or when I stream movies?
The movies.
Both.
Ah,
I
yes,
can
'cause
watch
when I
the
stream movies kinda
podcast
late, yeah.
after.
He'll stream movies in his Discord at like 4:00 in the morning, saying,
And I'm
"Hey,
like-
evening movie," and I'm like, "No, or late
Well,
night
okay,
movie.
yeah,
No,
but
it's
that's
morning.
why I moved. But
It's
that's why I
fucking
moved. That's
morning.
why I like doing my
morning.
live streams. My live streams, like my personal live streams,
Morning.
I found it was awesome to do them at like 2:00, 3:00 in the afternoon. And I was like, I was going to try it as an experiment. It was like, why don't I go live like 2 or 3? I have a lot of subscribers that are in Europe and abroad. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try going like really early afternoon. The American audience might be at work, or they might not
Fuck the
just
American
be
audience.
access with their.
We're better.
And I went at like I think I live streamed at 3:00 just to do a normal live stream, and I broke all my records.
Yes, because we're better. Because the American audience will flake at work, and the European audience are just getting off work. You see, it works. And we have a couple of super chats. Sorry, Etty, I'll get back to you now in 2 seconds. Hold that thought.
Oh.
So second best Bob for 5 kids says, I also said I loved it. You missed that bit. Yes. Well, they did take over the running of it. That's fine. It's all good as long as you guys are.
Yeah,
enjoying
it's
it.
our stream now.
Well, you
really.
see, here's the thing. I do it to so many other people. So when I have people on, I let them talk. David Oliver says for 2 quid, Human Centipede is disgusting. It's disgusting, but also
Yes.
brilliant.
Well, okay,
Brilliant.
okay. I have to comment. I have to comment to
is.
this as someone who sat down with Tom Six.
It's gross. but
So-
it's brilliant.
When Human Centipede first came out, I was doing essentially horror journalism for a website. So I was going to all these places and I was interviewing all of these people, and I got to sit down with Tom Six and Dieter Laser. Tom Six, director, and Dieter Laser, who played he recently passed away a couple years ago. He played the evil doctor in that one. So I sit down and I'm talking with these guys. And of course, Dieter's just this great German character actor. He's been around forever. He'll do anything. He was like, yeah, I'm always willing to challenge myself and do all kinds of weird stuff, and that's great. But Tom Six, I kid you not. Okay, this guy, he wants so badly to be Ted Nugent, but he is so deeply German. And the way he presents himself, giant belt buckle, huge gaudy Texas hat, like like the classic Texas style, Texas cut, long sleeve shirt, button down, and the bolo tie and everything. This is what he wants to be, but he come out to get the way of how German he is. He's so German. And it's hilarious hearing him talk. But the idea was that he wanted to go for this because he wanted so badly. Well, first off, the inspiration for the idea came after he was watching some deal about a bad person who hurts children, and he was like, you know what they should do to that guy, because he was saying he gets like 20 years of prison. He's like, no, they should sew his mouth to the ass of a trucker, of like a fat trucker. That's what he thought, and he was like, wait a minute, maybe this could be a movie. Oh, sorry, yeah, sorry, AB Science. Yes, he apologized, Dutch. But anyway. Then he thought, would anyone fund this? So the challenge became to see if anyone would actually throw him money.
He still got fucking funded.
So he went out there and said, this is my idea. This is what I want to do. And it's going to be this. And he went to all of his producers and said, and just described the whole thing for him in gory detail. Just to see, will they throw me money? Fully expecting it to never get funded. Got funded.
Of course.
Yeah.
Just while I'm thinking of AB Science there. AB Science. Tattie's doing a live stream next Saturday.
Yeah.
We were going to be watching the Human Centipede.
We're not.
No.
Like it or
Fuck
not.
no.
All
Fuck
three
no.
of the human centipedes. One
No.
after the other.
No, we're
I
not.
thought they were
The second
terrible
one's
movies.
the worst.
Right. AB Science. Wait. AB Science. Tattie is doing a live stream next Saturday. Would you like to be on? I know you're busy, but we all miss you and we haven't got a chance to catch up. And since Tattie very, very, very rarely does live streams, it's the second
Never.
one he's ever done. Well, not never, because you've done one before in a mankini and it was hilarious. But
No, it wasn't.
don't make me bring up the mankini. But yes, AB Science, if you would like to join, we would really like to have you on. So yeah,
Be
okay.
there.
Then we can
Be there or be the B segment.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jeff, you too. Jeff, you too. You have to come on as well. just for
Okay.
crack.
Well, my problem
Um,
with the Human Centipede movies,
Oh,
it's
here we
like
go.
if you've ever read the forums of like a heavy metal magazine, you know, it's all these little kids talking, they've been bullied by people at school and out in real life and so on, and it's all these like impotent revenge fantasies. And that's the script of all the Saw movies and the Human Centipede. It's fucking terrible.
My brother owns every Saw movie, and I like James Wan and Lee Wannell for the most part, but Saw never worked on me. In fact, it actually kind of offends me a little bit. I just think it's way over heavy-handed. And the first time I saw it was in like a college class of all things. We had this really kind of eccentric teacher that was like, "Yeah, we're going to watch Saw for an English class." I'm like, "We're going to do what?" Like it had just come out, and then like as the sequels came out, you know, it was kind of a thing. Like, you know, my brother was like, "Hey, you know, Saw 16 is out. You're going to watch it, right?" And I'm like, "Oh, God." I'm like, if you buy me a bottle of wine or a 6-pack or something like that, because I'm going to need alcohol to get through it. And sure enough, that was the only thing that he wanted. He wanted me to sit there and watch it, and I would just stew and then make fun of the Saw villain and his weird moralizing throughout the whole thing. So it became like a tradition, and now it's kind of over.
Technically, they're only up to 9.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
I thought it was
my
900.
God. Oh,
He
You know,
was drinking, so he was seeing double.
Speaking
Yeah.
of people, speaking of horror villains that like to torture people. So, Jefferson,
Angelo?
do you see this being the, you know, like Clubhouse being the end for Darth Dawkins?
I mean,
Darth Dawkins is Jefferson's favorite person in the world.
I know, but I've been following along as well with Tom, with Jefferson, with all the live streams, and of course, because I'm a big part of the Discord server that he abandoned, that he took off because he tried to ultimatum the admin there, and then he was like no, and so he took off. But now we've all been following his degenerating progress. Does that work? Does that work like that?
they had sort of like a weird regress.
I know.
Yeah.
The degeneration of his shtick. Of via Clubhouse. I mean, it was so weird because this is what struck me. All of us atheists, agnostics, the people, we obviously a lot of us love the dumpster fire. We love engaging with the guy because his arguments are terrible. And this is an example. This is what you do not do. This is how you don't act. This is how you don't argue. This is the prime examples of bad fallacious reasoning and whatever. But we've allowed it to go on. We kind of perpetuated the cycle. We fed it. Yeah. We fed the Darth Beast, and the Beast, gives back to us. The Christians really, really didn't put up with it that fast. He came in there and started doing his thing, and number one, division in that Christian community. They split like the Red Sea.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then the vast majority of them were like, we need to shut this down. Not only do we need to shut this down, we need to shut it down because of people like Tom Rabbit, because they just make us all look bad.
Yeah, because he's shining a light on
Right.
it.
Yeah. So I found that to be weird, but do you think it's coming to an end? And
Here's what makes me suspicious about it, because I was thinking about this today, because I kind of wondered myself if like maybe the time's coming to a close, because I mean he didn't really have much to do, because people talk about like his time when he was on YouTube and stuff like that, but he kept getting dinged because he was just a loudmouth homophobe, you know. So even back before, you know, this kind of whatever their grievance is, oh, it's cancel culture. It was like even before you guys thought that was a thing, he was getting dinged for being just a hateful creep. But so he can't really come back to YouTube. He was at probably the best place that he could be. PNR, Politics and Religion Discord server, had a lot of members, had a lot of viewers, and the mods had given him an enormous amount of power. He wanted more because he wanted to be able to effectively ostracize people and make it permanent. And when they wouldn't give that to him, he decides to leave, and now he wants to kind of build something at Clubhouse, which it's like, I don't know if maybe it's because it's older, but it's like if you look at the structure of how Clubhouse is made just as a social media site, it's not going to scale to the size that he had when he was with, when he had his Discord channel.
right.
When he was kind of given those Lord privileges on Politics and Religion. So it's weird that he didn't just make his own Discord server. Like I don't think he couldn't be bothered with it. He needs help.
He did. This is what's wild. He did. He had Reformation. He had the Reformation server where essentially he was God. But the problem was, and I heard from somebody messaged me who was a member over there, they had over 5,000 people on their ban list that they had just that Darth had the vast majority from Darth that he completely just shut down. No one wanted to go there anymore. So he went back to Reformation, and then all of a sudden Reformation got shut down. And I didn't hear exactly why. Then he rebuilt Reformation, and nobody wanted to come.
I can give you a little back. I won't belabor this, but there was one day, because I was on the Reformation. He had left because he was hanging out in Reformation quite a bit, and then he just left. And Reformation started to turn into a ghost town, and he was back over on PNR more. And that's, I started noticing this. I think this was even before I started doing like kind of response videos to Tom Rabbit's stuff. And I go in there, and there's only like two people hanging out in a voice chat, and it was one way. And the Reformation server, I think, was one that he kind of co-ran with another person. So it wasn't Darth's. Darth was given like super mod privileges, but he didn't start it. Somebody else did. And one way kind of hangs out with that guy Praise.
Praise. Oh, we know all about Praise, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
We know all about Praise.
We love Praise.
One way is decently read, but almost, he's not unbright. It's just he's got a lot of like theological crud running around up there.
He is unbright. He's not bright at all.
But he got drunk one night, right? He's drunk on this thing, and I jump in there, and there's a couple other people that I recognize from Praise's channel, 4 or 5 of them hanging out in there, and one way just starts chatting with me like we're best of buds, which it's like, no, we're not. But he starts talking to me. I can tell by the way he's talking that he's a little lit. And while he's talking, he just goes on this long explanation, like, no, Darth comes in like a locust and a plague, and he fills the place up, and we get lots of views. But then he starts banning people. The list grows and grows. Finally, he pushes it too far. The mods send him out, or he gets pissed and he leaves. But then he leaves the ban list behind, and at that point, he just leaves the place a graveyard. And then he moves on to another one, and he doesn't. And when people complain to him about this, because they have complained, according to one way, people have approached Darth and said, in private, when you do this, you basically show up and then burn the place down and then go on to another server. His reaction was, well, these Discord servers are a dime a dozen, which is fascinating coming from a guy who does not have the patience to set one up himself. All those bots that he had in Politics and Religion, someone else programmed those for him.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah. That was the attack dog bot. That was Banshee's work. Banshee, he told us that he made that for him so that they could compromise between giving him like full mod kick powers and ban powers, and that he could basically just kind of have this little cone of silence around him for the people that he didn't like. So we can come in and he's like some evil wizard. It's like can't be cast spells within a certain range.
It's like Gandalf's staff. He can pound it on the ground and everything scatters. Yeah. yeah, it was just super. So when I heard that, but then he one way acted like later on that never happened. He never told me that. I'm like, no, I think you probably don't remember it because I'm pretty sure he was pretty drunk. But yeah, he was griping about it then. Then he was actively working with Antonio to build up either the worldview debate or another Discord channel. The two of them were working on it, and Darth joined that one for a while. And I kind of thought, like, you know what? If things go sour with PNR, he's going to move over to this one. Because Antonio's on there, and he and Antonio are, like peas and carrots, But he didn't. He did. I was really surprised that he basically just kind of gave up on Discord altogether and then went to Clubhouse. I think he thought that he was going to get away from Tom Rabbit.
That didn't happen.
No, yeah. I mean, Antonio and Darla. I mean, what is it? Their theme song is "Keep Riding Me." So,
well, I'm gonna bring this to a close now in a few minutes because I do need to get something to eat and mentally prepare for the madness that's in store tonight.
Crafty, you're going to be amazing.
Yes, and thank you guys for jumping
yeah.
on. If anyone hasn't watched Jefferson's stream from last night, I think it was last night. I can't remember days.
It was.
Days just don't work for me anymore. They just blur. But yeah, you did a remarkable job. I mean, fucking hell. You picked every argument apart piece by piece, and it was just, it's always amazing to see you do that. What's tonight's madness? AB Science asks. Tonight's madness, I will be on a show called Truth Wanted, and it's a phone-in show, so fuck knows what kind of calls we're going to get. Yeah, I'm well, I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it because it's going to be really, Clive.
I've already sent Puck a list, so
Clive is amazing.
I predict. I'll read it.
I'll tell you this, Crafty. I'm so envious. I really am, because I've been longing you. I would hope to one day be able to contribute, my work and the stuff that I do to help the ACA in some way.
Oh,
and
I'm sure you will.
I'm going to build up to that point eventually, like this. It might be, my problem might be that I'm also quite salty as well.
Your response was so perfect because it was exactly what was going on in my head. Would you like to explain to them what your response was when I said that I was being contacted by the ACA and I wanted to know who this person was and whether it was legit? What was your response?
Oh, we had that conversation so long ago. What was it? Hang
on
a
you
sec.
Remember. Oh, you remember what your response was. Shall I tell them what your response was?
Yes, tell. Okay, wait, no.
Because it was exactly what I was thinking.
Okay, remind me. I have a wall of text here. The conversation that we had when you first told me.
Oh,
wait. Both interesting. Was it both interesting and odd? Why would they be messaging you?
Yeah.
Was that it?
Why are they messaging you?
That's harsh, man.
No, it wasn't meant like that.
I just imagine it like a bratty teenage girl. Why are they messaging you?
Well, I've been watching Crafty stuff, and I was like,
I don't do much religion. The only religion that I've covered so far, really, on my channel, apart from Cider Imports and on Math Pigs, which I'm on quite a lot, is the one with the challenging conspiracies. And that was mainly to do with flat Earth and the relationship between some of the most vile creatures in the religious circuit and them not believing that the Earth was flat. And I got some really great quotes. I loved that video. Thank you to Blue Marble Science for being part of that, by the way. So yeah, that was the only time I'd actually on my channel spoken about religion. Now, I haven't spoken about my own experiences in relation to other things regarding religion, particularly Tusk, you were on the stream regarding the mother and baby homes, and other things about Catholicism and my experiences with abortion. But I hadn't really talked much about.
Did you see what's happened in the last couple of days with the tiered compensation system that's been proposed?
Yeah, I'm in conversation with some of them.
Fucking shameful, absolutely.
It's ridiculous. It's shocking.
So it wasn't meant to be that you weren't worthy. I mean, absolutely you are.
I just love he put in words what was going on in my head. Why are they contacting you?
Well, the thing is, Keela said this when she got the notification from Puck saying what you wanted, and I was all so excited. And I contacted GL, and the first thing he says was like, "Who the fuck are you?" Why?
Yes.
It was perfect. It was perfectly worded, JL. And you know what? I laughed so hard at it because it was exactly what was going on in my head. Why are they not in? I'm not worthy to be on, but I don't really cover that kind of stuff on my channel. So where the fuck did they come up with my name for this show? I am glad. I cannot wait. It's not all about atheism. It's not all about it's about all sorts of things. Anything from paranormal to, you know, Bigfoot to whatever the
Right.
fuck people decide to call up about. That's why I love Truth Wanted. Now I like the other shows as well. I watch Atheist Experience all the time, and I fucking love Talk Ethan.
Oh yeah, Talking is amazing.
So to be on one of those shows with these people, and look, as I'm winding up, Jay decides to make a show. Hi, Jay. Yeah,
I will
nice
say,
to see
I
you.
mean, it started. You know, you messaged me. It's like I got a message from the ACA. I want to get your take. Get your take on what do you think? And I was like,
freaking the fuck out.
And I was like, the atheist community of Austin, or some other ACA that I don't know. And I was like, I didn't even automatically assume it was them. And she was like, yeah, it was the atheist community of Austin. And I was like, wow, interesting, odd. Yeah. Why would they be contacting you? I'm not sure. Just because the contact was out of the blue. As far as what Crafty told me, it was like it came out of nowhere, and I was kind of like, wow, that's
it's a supreme, it's a serious compliment, to be honest with you.
Right.
And again, thank you to Puck for putting my name forward, you mad bastard. But I'm really looking forward to it. I'm shitting myself, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, I am 100%. You're going to be absolutely amazing, Crafty. Yeah, they couldn't have gone with a better person, you know. And hopefully, one day I'll be up there with you. That's what I want to angle is try to, put more of an effort in that whole community, the ACA, and their targets with the goals that they want to do, the separation of church and state, and essentially edutainment.
I want to make it international. I want to end this Austin bullshit. We have a bad state over here too, or we've had a bad tradition with the Catholic Church. I mean, they literally ran our system. Like they wrote our constitution. Like we have as much a right to be on these shows as anyone. So I'm like, yes, I will be on.
You're gonna do amazing. So we'll all be there watching you, and you're gonna kick it in the ass.
Yay! Thank you so much for coming on, JL.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Mods in the chat, please link both JL's channels, is normal channel and the Week in Horror podcast, which is fucking amazing, by the way.
Not until the Week in Horror podcast is on at a more reasonable time.
Yes.
The live stream?
Mm-hmm.
Either. Because it's on at 1 a.m. our time.
Yeah, 1 a.m. Yeah, that's right, because we go live at 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not an old lady. Speak for yourself.
Movies, I am an
but
old
I do
lady.
have work the next day.
Husk is also an old lady.
Fucking here's the thing: going live at like 1 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes. When Europeans have work the next day, it's not cool. I'm just gonna say it's not cool. You have to remedy that.
Well, I mean, that's why we put up the audio the following Sunday, so people can listen whatever they like. I mean, maybe that time period, the 7 p.m. Central Time is not the best time, but
midweek.
For all of we do it on Wednesday, but for all of us guys, and for editing purposes, because we're editing a 2-hour show to make sure everything goes smoothly for the audio when we upload it to all the podcast sites, that just takes time. And then, of course, writing the new scripts and preparing the debates
I hear a lot
that we
of
do.
excuses.
I'm trying to explain.
I hear a lot of excuses.
I also hear, Etty, I'm not going to stream your husband at a reasonable hour so that you can watch him.
He doesn't love you, Etty. It's true. It's apparent he doesn't love us.
Gosh.
So that's what I'm taking out of the stream. JL doesn't love us. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Let's
Rarity.
talk about literature.
Well, real quick, Rarity. We have hopefully we have a stream next week, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Explain the stream.
For any of the wonderful people that have unfortunately had to hear my voice multiple times on this channel, you may know that Crafty forced me.
I didn't force. I did not force. I forcibly encouraged.
We all believe that you were forced.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Encouraged is a it's too soft of a term.
I would stand in a court of law against that, man.
But
Everyone knows my type of encouragement, and in fairness, like
Gentle persuasion.
I own an
I've still got the
electric
bruises.
deep fat fryer
the deep
so
fat-
that I can make specific chips. Because apparently the fries that we have, something about the Atlantic, it just fucks up potatoes. So
yeah,
you call it wrong for a start, man.
Yeah. What you get there in America is deep fried cornstarch. It's not chips.
Wait until you actually have proper chips, then you'll understand. You will understand.
And I'm just excited as all hell. I mean, the edging that we have been doing for the past like 3 weeks on this is just going to be an amazing release. Finally,
that's an amazing choice of words.
I know. I use them.
No. You misunderstand. You misunderstand.
The deep fat fryer is otherwise known as a heart attack machine.
Yes, but for the last several weeks, let me just explain Secular Rarity's reasoning here. For the last several weeks, I have been following Secular Rarity around every single chat and just reminding him of his promise to get a deep fat fryer.
Well, the good news is it is here. It is in my house. It is next to me. I have to figure out exactly what items need to be purchased. So anybody out there watching that would like to give me an authentic Irish or British meal that I can construct and eat live on Crafty's channel.
It's going to be a taste test.
Yeah. So JL, I want to give you at least one understanding of one of these things, and you too, Jefferson, since we're all normal Americans here.
You say normal.
They mentioned
Did Singular Rabbit Hole just say normal American in the same sentence?
I was going to let it pass, but now you brought it up. No.
Well, hang on. Let me talk about some of these sandwiches. They're absolutely absurd. So imagine like a stick of butter, okay, spread out between like 2 pieces of bread with marmalade and fried potatoes. That was one recipe. I have no idea.
No. You don't put marmalade. You don't put marmalade with chips. No.
I swear you told me.
Step away from the vehicle. Step away from the vehicle.
Put your hands behind your back, palms up. No,
put the keys down.
On the ground, on your stomach, hands interlaced between your head.
I'm telling you, this was one of the recipes that was given to me.
Can I just clarify? Can I just clarify what he's thinking? What he's actually thinking of there is Tattie's suggestion that you put butter, jam, and cheese, cheddar cheese. That's what you were thinking. Nothing about marmalade. Nothing about marmalade.
I want
cheese and jam sandwich.
I still don't feel like either of these are good. Both of these are terrible.
Cheese and jam?
Nobody.
Cheese and jam.
And butter.
What's wrong with you?
On bread.
No, it's haven't you? JL, have you ever had?
Absolutely mental. Can we just throw out there cheese and apricot? Is a type of like the cheese with the apricots in it is really yummy. Everybody
but that's
admits
not
it.
jam.
So
or jelly is American.
But wait, and cranberry and brie and apple and brie. So we're just simply putting strawberries and cheese together, just like tradition supposedly from all the other random meals that you have.
Can I also point out that it was not a full stick of butter? What we said was you have to get real butter. You have to get real butter.
I'm pretty sure I heard you say
a stick of butter from real butter.
It's either a real butter or an entire tub of margarine. I think that's what he was thinking of.
I want to address something in the chat there. It says Clive Wells says fish and chips is a traditional British food. No, it isn't. It was brought here by Eastern European Jewish refugees around about the Second World War. So it's become this British staple, but it's actually from Eastern Europe.
Kind of like curry. You guys have
Yeah,
tons of curry houses.
Yeah,
And
curry's
That's
the
for
well, it's a
Eastern-
kind of
Eastern Europe.
throwback to the days of the empire. But Britain's national dish is the chicken tikka masala.
yeah, and you guys
What?
got kebab joints everywhere too.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
absolutely,
invented
yeah.
it. We invented the
We
chicken
invented
tikka masala.
Chicken masala,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
There is
this is one of the
also-
things we take for granted about the UK. It's like I can walk out into my street and I'll find a pizza place that sells kebabs, fish and chips, and Chinese and Japanese food all in one place. And that doesn't happen anywhere else in the world.
Can you get the sashimi on the pizza? I'm just wondering, asking for a friend.
Yeah, that's right up there with pineapple, and we're not going to talk about that.
No.
But
Neiman
what
Couple Reason
you
has it right.
will-
Neiman Couple Reason has it right. A chip
Pineapple-
buddy
Yes.
sandwich.
Pineapple
Oh,
belongs
yes.
on pizza. Pineapple
Does-
belongs on
No,
pizza.
No, it
This
does
is
not.
what
No, it does not. No, it does not. That's
What was
best-
that, JL? What was that?
What?
Right, I
Oh,
just want
sorry.
to-
I think
right.
JL just dropped down.
Yeah, he
Right,
did.
right.
Oh, there
This
it
is me going to be a grammar Nazi again here, right? Sorry, see me cup of reason. That's a tautology. A chip
Chip buddy
butty
sandwich.
is a sandwich. You
Yeah.
can't
What's a
say a
ch-
chip butty sandwich.
What is it?
A chip buddy is,
a
is when
sandwich.
right.
Chip
We're,
buddy.
yeah, stop. A
You
chip
can't
buddy
say a
is
chip
when
buddy
shut up, stop being pedantic, stop being an ass.
It's not pedantic. It's a blatant tautology.
Yeah, no,
We
it's
can
it's,
fix
it's
it.
pedantic bullshit.
Yeah, it's like saying potato
so-
chip.
A chip buddy is when you get either a sandwich, like either bread, or you get a roll, and you put like fries in the roll with a lot of butter or mayonnaise
A
or whatever the
shit ton of
fuck you're
butter.
into. But
Yeah,
but
just a
with
shit ton of
quite a
butter.
lot of butter. Yeah.
That's what
It's-
they. That's
it's
what they
yum.
told me.
Wait a minute. So
It's
it's
yum.
always butter
It's always butter.
and maybe
Always.
some
Yeah,
mayonnaise,
butter
or
on
is it
bread.
butter or mayonnaise?
No, it's always
No,
butter.
both.
Always butter. But
So
some
you could-
weirdos do put a little bit of mayonnaise like it's a fucking hot dog, which is not right.
Mayonnaise-
But you know,
Right.
Mayonnaise needs to go on a fish finger
Chicken.
sandwich.
fish fingers, yeah, or chicken,
Okay.
But
chicken.
I
That's
will
it.
have to say a very, very traditional Scottish thing that you have to have since you have a deep fat fryer, okay? It's called
Don't say it.
Say
deep
it.
fried Mars bar.
No.
Yes, yes,
The most disgusting
Hells
thing in the
yes.
world.
Any
hells yes.
any recipes or things
get
that
you
people
sorted.
want, just send it to Crafty, and Crafty will send me a list with
Yes, I will.
ingredients,
Yes,
and
I
we
will.
Pizza
will make
crunch.
this happen. I'm not.
Mm.
I'm honestly. I feel like I'm gonna feel like shit after the end of
I
the
know,
day.
You know,
Yeah.
actually, Sec, you've got a
Pizza
deep
crunch.
fryer. You got a
You'll-
deep fryer now. I mean, you could do. I think you could do Scotch eggs in there, couldn't you?
Oh yeah, I could get a lot done with this thing.
Yeah.
Scotch eggs are
Um,
amazing. I mean, they're not Scotland. You know, they're not Scottish, but
Right.
Scotch eggs are absolutely phenomenal.
Those are tasty.
Yeah,
Oh,
we could
yeah.
get
Best
into-
way,
Deep-
the best
deep
way to
fried-
use a deep fat fryer, right, is to turn it on, let the oil come up to temperature, then go through your fridge and your cupboards and just go, yeah, fuck it. That's-
I wanted to say
No,
every
that's
recipe that I've ever seen for deep fried Mars bars, the last step is to go see your cardiologist.
oh yeah.
Well,
It's
see,
a
the thing
dangerous
is, you do have to have it with vanilla ice cream, so
It's
that
even
the
worse.
vanilla ice cream
What did
takes away how sweet the deep fried Mars bar is.
If you can have
Oh,
deep fried
should you
ice
put?
cream,
Do you put butter and mayonnaise on top
Do
of the
you-
vanilla ice cream?
Do you have
Like all
a
melted
Do you
in
have
the
a
bar?
poster of
chocolate
Wilford
sauce.
Brimley on your wall?
Oh, the
if
fun.
you've got the patience for it, deep fried ice cream is one of the nicest
No,
things
you don't.
you'll
No,
ever
you
have.
don't. You don't need to deep fry the ice cream. But anyone with any suggestions that you
Yes.
want in this deep fat fryer or in this taste test that you
Yes.
think that Secular Rarity should be having,
Pizza crunch.
put it into the comment section below this stream, and we
Secular-
will make sure it happens.
Secular Rarity, have you had a deep fried Oreo?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and
Oh, I
mean,
Twinkies
Tex-
and
Tex-
ice
oh,
creams.
Texas State Fair. I mean,
yeah.
I've lived
Bunch
in
of-
Texas for 30 years, so
the,
yeah.
the only
Deep
just
fried
again
fries.
just as a reminder for my fellow Americans, the only fucking reason I have this thing is because Crafty bullied me into it because
I
she
didn't bully
swore
anyone.
Oh.
she swore
Hey.
I couldn't make French fries
You can't,
properly.
though.
That's
You
what
can,
she
but
said.
obviously-
though.
You-
whoa,
Here's
whoa,
where
whoa,
I'm
whoa,
concerned.
whoa,
This
whoa.
is what
You
concerns me
are-
though. That you
hang
guys
on.
were just talking about if your fries have
That's
all
why
that
he-
dough, they're dredged and then deep fried. Why do you
dough?
then
Dough?
put them on?
No.
Dough?
You know, not dough. You know what I
Well,
mean?
what?
Dredged,
No, no, no,
right?
no,
There's
no,
flour.
no, the batter,
No.
the batter, the batter.
No.
What's on it?
Hold on,
What?
hold
Wait,
on,
wait.
hold
What
on,
cut?
no,
What
no,
cut
no.
of
Lads.
potato?
Lads.
That's what's
Jesus,
important.
no.
What
Lads.
cut of
Oh,
potato are you
Jesus.
using?
Lads, chill the
Jesus.
fuck. Chill the fuck, right?
I'm just talking. Yeah, we're just talking
Chill
about
the fuck.
carbohydrates and starches
Right.
at this point.
Listen
Fucking
to me,
batter in your
listen to me,
fucking
right?
But
chips,
this
man.
is an
Jesus.
important conversation.
Right. Yeah, I'm never a bully. Right. Jeff.
Go ahead, set me straight. What
You
is it?
never put dough on chips.
I-
You
I-
cut
I
the chips
misspoke.
up
I
and you put
didn't
them in
mean.
the oil. That's
yeah,
it. That's it.
I don't mean dough. I mean, but don't you dredge them in a batter?
No, they're chips.
No,
They're
no,
fucking
chips.
chips. You
You guys don't do that.
When, wait,
Yeah,
wait,
Jeff,
wait,
you
wait,
just-
wait,
no,
wait,
you
wait,
just
wait.
dump the
Potatoes.
fries in,
Hang
you
on,
just
lads.
dump the
Potatoes.
fries in, you dump the
When-
fries in the
no, no,
fryer,
no.
and you just fry them.
Hold on.
No.
Well,
When
there
you-
is
excuse
one
me, hold
step.
on,
The
lads.
on-
Hold
the
on,
only
hold on,
step
hold
you
on.
take before
Tusk,
you put
shut
the
up.
chips. No,
Tusk, shut
the
up.
only step you take.
Right.
Aye.
so-
Is parboil the totties first and dry them off.
He can. No, you don't even need to do that. No. What? Because they're chips.
That's okay. I prefer Tusk
all-
on bottom.
Because
Oh, everybody does.
so does he. But because they're chips,
do.
all you do is you cut up the potato and you put it in oil. You don't need to do anything else.
Yes,
you
you
Kind
do
of-
not need
what
to do
what
Yes, you
kind of
do.
oil is important? The oil is important.
It has to
vegetable oil.
be no, it has to be
Can
a
I-
mix of vegetable oil and lard.
Lad, vegetable oil. Just fucking vegetable oil.
No,
Doesn't
no,
need,
no,
you
no.
don't need to
No.
overcomplicate shit.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
Don't
And-
listen to the Scott.
And what
Do not
cut of
listen to the Scott.
and what cut of potato?
Well,
Rooster.
here's the thing, right? The potato is important.
Maris Piper.
Right, you have to use like a
Roosters.
Maris Piper or a King Edward,
Mar-
something that's
Maris
not too
Piper.
starchy and not too floury.
Correct.
Roosters.
But what you'll do is you'll get your
No.
potatoes and you'll cut them into
Just
no
off a
more
push.
than 8 pieces, regardless of the size of the potato.
Yeah.
So you have half and half again. Soak them in water for about half an hour to take some of the starch off.
Aye.
Drain them.
I'm
And
pretty
then
sure
put
those
them
are-
into
those are
fat.
steak- Those are what we call steak cuts.
Yeah,
It's a steak- steak
Tusk is
cut.
Tusk is being all up his own arse about cooking again. Yes, I know you're a chef. I don't give a shit. But yeah. Voodoo Inquisitor for £5 says, "Here's $5 to pick a topic that isn't going to keep turning my stomach." Voodoo Inquisitor, what we're talking about is that next week, so you're not triggered when you come onto the stream. Next week we're going to have a stream, hopefully, where Secular Rarity is going to do a taste test, and he's going to try out his new deep fat fryer. I am going to go through how to cut chips properly, and he's going to make proper chips.
I just want to say I like the Voodoo Inquisitor is like, look, I'm tired of this like cheese and fruit sandwich. Go back to Human Centipede. For the love of
Here's the
God,
thing.
back to Human Centipede.
Let's get back to horror
When you
movies
have
and go
when
on.
you have actual potato in the chip, you don't need to do anything else to
Well,
the chip.
And
But
and
when
for
you're talking
anybody
about
out
cooking,
there,
when you've got an actual chef in the chat, the first thing you should do is mute him. Obviously,
Only when he's done.
Yeah,
snob.
this is your show. I respect
Food
you,
snob.
but it sounds like
I don't
Tatty
respect
knows
her.
what he's doing. I
Oh.
do a little cooking myself.
Me?
Tatty
No,
sounds like he's
Tusk.
got the right.
Tusk.
Tusk
not
is the
Tatty.
cook.
Other Scottish guys.
Tatty never has a clue what he's doing. Let's,
Oh, okay.
let's just put that one straight out there.
Tusk is a professional chef.
He,
All right.
and that's why I love muting
So
him.
if you're talking about cooking and a professional chef says, "Oh, actually try this," don't mute him, okay?
Why is so much
saying.
fun triggering you?
No.
Come here. If there was any other chef that came onto my stream, I probably wouldn't. It's just
Yeah, you
'cause
wouldn't.
it's
Of course, you wouldn't. It's just
Oh,
because it's
dear.
me.
I love you.
Because
Can he call them fries?
No,
no,
chips.
No.
'Cause they're
I'm gonna
proper
need
chips.
I'm gonna
Don't
need a
come at us
lexicon
like
of words as well to use
Yeah.
properly.
And
so
you-
I
Right,
don't-
because I
Fry.
mean,
fry is a process.
I've
It's
got-
not an end
yeah.
result.
because we have in our kitchen, we have one of those. How do you describe it? It's a potato cutter. You put the potato in it, and then you drop the handle down, and it cuts it into classic, French fries. Not like the standards, because you got like
Yeah.
standard, you got crinkle, and you got steak, and you got string, and I like I'm kind of partial to the In-N-Out style.
See,
100%
fry-
vegetable oil with the string cuts. Those are really, really good.
Fries remind me of what fucking of the shite that McDonald's sells. We don't call them fries. They're not fries.
Well, in case anybody was worried that next week won't be a contentious and fun
It's going to.
stream, I hope the last like 10 minutes has really shown everybody this is going to be an all-out fucking war.
Secular. You're
well,
gonna
that's-
be on camera, right?
Yeah, we'll turn the
I-
camera on.
We could make it into a drinking game. The number of times you have to hold something up to the camera with an exasperated face and point out like this thing, whatever you call it, huh?
Wait, Secular, have you ever used a deep fryer before?
Not an electric one like
Okay,
this.
so new
No.
drinking game. Every time he burns himself.
Oh, I'm yeah. I feel pretty confident, especially when y'all were like, "Oh, you could just do this and this," and I'm like, "I'll burn down my house before I get to that."
Every time there's an ow. Every time there's one of those, you take a shot.
Or and also, just a
fantastic.
quick tip: when it goes on fire, not if it goes on fire.
right. Pour water on it, right?
No,
Pour a bunch of water.
No, piss on it. Piss on it.
That's the Scottish way.
It's like just like jellyfish, it neutralizes the whole thing.
Just pour a pint of beer into it, you'll be fine.
That's the other thing. You can make a drinking game out of the number of times people are going to tell you to throw in a handful of ice. Wait till it gets good bubble and throw it. Like, okay, just watch the live chat for everybody that wants you set yourself on fire.
He's gonna throw water on me like it doesn't do anything. This reminds me of when Irish Demon tried to put some magnesium out in water. Do you remember that, Crafty?
I do. I remember it well.
He lit the magnesium, the magnesium sparklers, and they got out of control. And he tried. Sorry. Oh shit! I guess you had to be there.
No, definitely no. Mr. E-Man is Mr. E-Man is being an asshole. Which welcome to the stream, Mr. E-Man. I love it. For $3.33 Aussie dollars. That is the real dollar. For the entertainment value and the Tourette's. Screw you, you asshole! I hate you.
Fuck you.
Well, that's not turret. That's turrets.
Yeah, we're staging all out medieval war on one another.
Yeah, that's
Anyway,
I personally have a beautiful line in crenellation.
Thank you for the super chat, Mr.
I've seen Tusk crenulations, by the way, and they are spectacular.
Yeah, sorry about that. I thought the door was closed. I really did.
Yeah. Oh no, I enjoyed it.
Well, Tusk, he's a professional chef, so he can make turrets out of egg whites. You just whip them right up into shape.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's Ethan's.
Oh, he's a gas.
Yeah. I'm more of a sweet tooth kind of.
Yeah, I don't have a sweet tooth at all. I'm not a pastry chef.
Which is why you need to try the deep fried Mars bar. Or
do not eat deep fried Mars bar.
Yes, you should. But you have to freeze it before you put it into the deep fat fryer. That's the big thing. You have to freeze it. And can I also say? Tina says, OMFG, you lot are firebugs. I'm a pyromaniac. Get it right.
You guys have very specific instructions for what apparently I need to do with my potatoes and my butter. Yes. And all I'm saying is all of this just has to be laid out really, really well. Like, speak to me like I'm a 5-year-old when you're telling me this stuff.
Well, that's in American. We do.
Anyway,
we do.
Good.
What we will do is during the week we will have a discussion off stream, and we will go through step by step what the ingredients are, what you're going to do. Right. Yeah. We're going to have Tusk, who actually knows the fuck what he's doing, and I definitely won't accidentally mute him, which I will, but I won't.
What to do, spectacular hairpiece, is whatever Crafty tells you, ignore it. Right? Completely. Right.
I got a quick.
So what was that?
Oh no.
You
and
get
then
normal.
We realised it wasn't.
Guess who's back?
He actually does have the most enormous chin.
What's everybody still doing here? It's time.
We're having a fight over how to properly deep fry potatoes.
Yes.
This is the search for the truth. This is what we're doing.
This is what you wanted.
This is what you wanted.
Supposed to be an hour, and this is what my life's being turned into.
All right. if this is how you relax, then who am I to say otherwise?
It's not relaxing at all. This conversation has gotten weaponized over things like potatoes and dough.
You'd be surprised how seriously they take their butter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just taking your word.
Another one bites the dust.
So Tusk, I do have to ask
Welcome
you,
to the stream, Jeff.
Tusk, you're a professional chef, or you run a kitchen, or just you're
No,
very
I took when I'm not playing at lawyers, I'm actually a professional executive chef, so I run the kitchen. Right.
So what are your thoughts on stuff like, I get it because I've never had an opportunity to sit and talk with someone who does it professionally. What are your thoughts on shows like, the Great British Baking Show and stuff like
What was that?
What?
That was totally
I just
unnecessary.
want to know his opinion.
Well,
I know. I just wanted to push it
I
off.
want to
That's
know
okay.
like the people who do it for real. It's like this is our jobs. What is your opinion of these kinds of shows?
He
Are
loves
they amazing?
Ramsey.
utter shit. And I'll tell you for why they're utter shit. Right. You cannot just walk up to an oven that you don't know. Right. You don't know if it's got cold spots in it and so on and so on. Right? It has to be your oven. But they're following recipes. It's basically a mathematical formula. It's 250 grams of this times 50 grams of this and so on and so on. But it's like the tattoo programs. The timings are just for the TV. They do the nodding shots and the 2 minutes to go weeks in advance. So there's nobody has ever failed in there because of under or overcooked it, because they get the time they need.
Wait, you mean it's all scripted?
Yes, it's manufactured.
A reality TV show
Right.
is scripted?
There's a really good
No.
program on the BBC, MasterChef.
Yeah.
Where MasterChef is a mix, depending on which one it is, of semi-professionals, professionals, and amateurs, where it is very, very strict, and they're judged by chefs. So if you fuck up, you fucked up, you're out, and someone gets eliminated every week. That's the only one I think's probably kind of real.
Hasn't
But at
that
the
show been on
same
for a
time-
while?
Yeah, it's been on for
Yes.
like 25 years or something
Aye.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that is very
Well,
successful.
close
But
in,
stuff
wasn't
like,
Off there.
yeah, stuff like the Great British Bake Off and all that sort of thing. It's all fakery.
My wife's a really big fan of the Great, because she loves Paul Hollywood and Dame Prue and and Nigel. They're fun hosts, so they make a fun show. But she's also a really big fan of Zumbo.
Of what?
Was it Zumbo? Is he New Zealand? Confectionery and dessert baker.
I don't
I'm
watch
very
TV, so I
confused.
wouldn't really.
Oh,
know
okay.
that.
So, but yeah, there's a few that she's a fan of, because
I don't watch
they
shit,
make
so
them
I wouldn't
fun.
watch it.
But
No. Yeah. most of the cooking programs on TV are made as a push to try and get people to be more self-sufficient. Because
the
very
only-
few people cook for themselves
well, that's a
nowadays.
good thing. That's a good thing.
The
That's
only
a good
thing,
thing, yeah.
the only thing I watch is and I don't really watch it that much, but the only thing I will watch reruns of on YouTube is Hell's Kitchen, just to see him lose his shit, because it's
fuck
hilarious.
Gordon Ramsay. An old friend of mine, right, was living in London. She went down there for a job, and a friend of a friend said they're doing a practice run of Hell's Kitchen in London. So it'll take like 2 weeks or something. It's just to get the cameras all set up and get everything, in the right place. She wanted to do it. It's good money. No problem. So they went down and blah, blah, blah. And there's Gordon Ramsay coming in, shouting and screaming at everybody. But she's from Glasgow, like me.
Exactly.
And she turned round one day and said, if you speak to me like that again, I'm going to pour this pan of boiling fat over your stupid fucking head.
And he shat himself.
He shat himself, and she was fired that day.
I love
But
Uncle Roger, by the way.
The whole thing is like it's a vehicle for him, just to be an asshole.
Yeah, but
to
it's
people.
still fucking hilarious to
It's
me.
not.
I mean, come on,
Ah,
you
but
can't beat.
no.
You can't beat. What are you, an idiot sandwich? That's
No, sorry, no. The best cooking program, or they were all shite after Floyd on food.
They're all fucking shite.
Floyd was great.
Mm.
Floyd
Floyd was the fucking man.
passed out of his mind.
Puck came. I
Yes.
think Puck came to save me, and then like just got stuck answering people.
I am. I mean, you
Oh,
look
you're
like
still
you're
here.
doing
I
fine.
thought you'd
I'm
left.
here out of solidarity and confidence and comfort, but it looks like you've got all that taken care of. So
You've got a
So
solid
we're
what
good.
now? A solid
Well,
what? I'd
well,
see a
what-
doctor
what's
about that,
funny-
mate.
well,
Sounds,
what's funny,
that sounds
right?
painful.
What's funny is we were actually
stay with us,
finishing up,
friend.
and we were talking about Secular Rarity doing the taste test next week. So people should definitely tune into that, unless
I want to see
people
that.
don't like it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Mostly
fun.
wait,
because-
the what now? What are you doing?
Secular Rarity on my encouragement got a deep fat fryer,
Bullying.
and he's going to do a taste test of different things next week. So
Okay.
wahaha, it's
Be-
going to be
Quick,
fun.
quick
Additionally-
question.
International solidarity. This is what
That's
I've
right.
been pushing for. Thank you very much.
You guys
Jason, Fox
told
fault.
me.
People have questions. People have questions.
You guys said that the chips have to go, and you don't dredge them with any. You throw the chips in just as they are, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, for about 10
Well,
minutes.
yes and
Did-
no.
did- What about the
There's
Mars bars?
There's a chipper in Humberside, which has won multiple awards that do actually dredge their potatoes in a very light batter before
Okay.
they fry them.
Yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
But that's
Okay.
that's an
No.
anomaly. That's like an
Nah.
outlier.
No, that's
They're the only one that does it.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
But
And
the
so with that,
marshmallows needs to be in
we're going
that
we're gonna end this stream. But the Mars bar, you have to freeze before you put it into the. It has to be frozen before it goes in, otherwise it'll just melt.
And then you
have
just-
It has to be
This is
frozen,
open to
then
anybody-
battered, and then frozen.
yes.
Anybody
Oh,
in
sorry.
this stream, anybody watching on the live chat or watching on the replays, post your comments, tell Crafty what I need to cook, send Crafty a message, just bug the living shit out of her for the next week,
Yes,
please,
please.
so that I at least get some joy knowing
Oh,
that
you
there's
will.
at least a little bit of pain on her end.
Oh, that's not
for all of
pain.
this.
That is extreme joy. Getting ideas of how to wreck your head. It's going to be fucking
And-
great.
I want
And
Crafty
remember,
to force.
folks,
I want Crafty to force Tusk to talk you through frying a Mars bar because he hates them.
Well, one thing would go. Secular, do you have a chiller?
Like a fridge?
Yeah, well, it's like specifically designed to drop things
No,
down
freezer.
to a low temperature so
Oh.
you can use them.
Like a
a
freezer.
freezer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Freezer.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I
Well,
mean, there's a difference.
Right,
I have,
no,
a,
I don't-
I
no,
have
I
a
don't
freezer in my kitchen, but an industrial chiller is much
No.
Yeah.
different.
No,
What you
I
really
cannot
need
have
is
that.
a blast freezer to take
Oh
it
yeah,
down really
yeah,
quick.
yeah. Hang on a sec. Let me go
Yeah.
look on Amazon. I'll just order one of those.
Well,
Yeah. First off, you
wait.
assholes are telling me to buy like
Yeah, well,
$60
see the-
fucking dollars worth of
But
this.
wait,
What's it
Rarity.
in Saskatchewan now?
Rarity.
You have to freeze your Mars bar, right? Then you
Yes.
coat it in your batter, then you freeze it again.
Yes.
And then you coat it in batter, then you freeze it again.
This
Then you
feels
coat it in
like-
batter, then you freeze it again. Otherwise, when you fry it, what will happen is all the glucose will break down and you'll
Mhm.
get a huge bubble of steam and it'll explode right in your face.
Are you
This is
telling
true.
me
This is actually true.
This is going to be a week's worth of fucking prep work on my end.
It's
Is that
gonna
what
be
I'm
Don't
Oh,
do
yeah.
the Mars bar.
It'll
I
be
take it
fine.
back.
It'll be
Don't
fine. It'll
don't
be
do the
fine.
Mars bar. Just stick with the
It'll be
potatoes.
fine. You'll be grand.
I know what you need. I know what you need to make. There is a what is it? There is if you can get some really, really large pickles. Where do I send?
Oh, deep fried pickles.
Well, what it is
Amazing.
you take the pickle, right? You get those really, really big ones. You core it out. You core out the center of it, and you take the hot dog and you put it up through the pickle, and then you
Oh.
batter the pickle, and then you deep fry that.
I had that.
Bam.
I had that in
Monetized.
New York. It was a hot dog and jalapeno that was in it, battered and deep fried.
The face on
Absolutely
top.
fantastic.
You guys are never cooking for me. That was beyond.
Right.
I-
Toss. Right.
Just really quickly. We can
Cheese
have
and
this,
jam?
oh, no, we
No.
can have this discussion. We can have the rest of the discussion off air. But I really want to thank everyone for coming out. Voodoo Inquisitor is asking what my email is. It's craftykeela@gmail.com. It's the way I spell my name on the channel @gmail.com. It's all one word. And really quickly, because those of you who have been to the stream before, you know that I'm involved in helping Steaming Cup of Reason with his channel Pain of Progress. A new episode of Pain of Progress has just been updated. Now I have to say new caveat there. It's a rerun of the show before season 5 comes out. So a new episode of Pain of Progress has just been released from season 3, I believe. So please do go over. Have a look at it. It's fucking brilliant. The work that those guys done on that show is incredible. And season 5 is coming out in the near future when we've exhausted all the rest of them. So
Season 5 of Pain of Progress will be deep fried. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Also,
With the
Well, please-
previous seasons being pre-ordered and pre-released.
Shut up. Shut
Uh-oh.
up.
Well,
Shut up.
please,
Don't say that.
sorry, lads.
Secular. Look up Dilly Dog. Dilly dog. Dilly Dog.
We can
dog.
have that
Look up
discussion
those.
off the feckin' air, lads. Shut up. The other thing, of course, is to remind people that myself and Puck will be on Truth Wanted in about an hour and a half.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Right. This is gonna be fun. So tune in there. You have enough time to. What was it you used? What was the word you used for
Tune who?
Shut up. Etty, you used the word earlier in relation to the movie night that you did. What was it you used before you started?
Egress.
No, fuck off.
Honestly, I can't remember.
Deliquifier, some shit. Anyway.
Oh yeah,
You
deliquify yourself.
You have enough.
Go
Yeah,
pee.
you have enough time to liquefy and deliquify yourself before it starts. So
Now, Puck, it
Make
looks
sure
like I'm
you-
on bottom.
make sure you get your snacks.
Oh
And
my
all the
god,
rest
it's
of
just like prison all over again.
Weirdos. See you later, lads. Say bye, weirdos.
bye,
Judy
weirdo.
and Bert.
Bye.